Now that I'm not crying, and hopefully the dog doesn't interrupt me, but I just want to add in some more stuff real quick so that I'm just not as emotional, so I can get some other things out. When we talk about these superpowers and stuff like that, that's really gonna happen, but it's not just about to be like thrown at us like all of a sudden it happens overnight. We actually have to train and discipline our bodies to achieve these things. That your self discipline is you obeying, the Most High in order to receive the powers that people are speaking of. And the atmosphere and stuff is going to change as well. So like that's how like flying and stuff is going to be obtainable more in the future, because we are becoming our light bodies, especially with a lot of us becoming fully vegan. And you don't have to be this full like raw vegan. You can do like vegan food and eat food that is heated up, because what I always hear how we are whenever we're pumped up, like if we start running and our heartbeat, our blood pressure is up, we get warm. So heating up a vegetable, fruit, or whatever, that is okay, but you could go back and forth. Like there's no right or wrong, as long as you are like, I've heard this whole week, 100, like 9, 10, like as long as you're at like 90%, like it's cool, because we ain't never gonna be perfect, I'm gonna be honest. And the reason that we'll never be in that 100%, because like we already are perfect, don't get me wrong, but we always have room to grow and evolve. We can continue to create for forever. That is the best part of being the creator and co-creating with the universe, is we get to do this for a long time. We can always find a way to improve something. That's why like even when you look at stuff as there's Adidas and Nikes, they're both great shoes, and both of them equally have fans. It's going to be like that for like the rest of our lives, and things are going to like continue to evolve in different ways. I wouldn't get so much like on the materialistic side, because that was just an example. It's really weird because a lot of the people nowadays are all like, ooh, we gotta grind and we gotta hustle and we gotta do all this and like buy all this land and stuff. And that sounds great and all. It is to learn these things, which we all will all go through the learning experience, so that if something like this were to ever happen again, they wouldn't be able to enslave us, because we're not doo-doo dumb no more. They could never, yeah, no, we're done. But in the long run, that's not what this journey is about, because we literally are going to set our mind, bodies, and souls free from any of those type of matrix ties. Unless you want to create that reality, then that'll be you on some other planet. They be trying to build that stuff over yonder, and that will always be an aspect somewhere else. Like you're always welcome to join that, but we are evolving and advancing. And with that being said, what I have learned too about being around animals, because they are conscious and we're multidimensional. So like a dog could also like, or a cat can also be a baby somewhere else. Like you can live in multiple bodies at once. So when we meet, I'll finish this video in like 2.5 seconds. Lay down. Just so you can be quiet. So baby dog is going to be with us. Now I done forgot what I was trying to say. Punny, because we was talking about animals. What I have noticed is also, if we are mean to animals now, different like ones, like they're like babies too. Like they're like people, because I've had to give this dog some grace, because I ain't gonna lie, it was like getting on my nerves. But then I have to remember, like, it's just a baby, and I once was a baby too, and I don't see me separate from, you know, animals in general. Like, not just dogs, cats, but like dolphins, fish, you know, those is still our people too. Those is the same people that's in the womb. Those are the same stages. Like, we are literally connected with everything. So whenever you are mean in enslaving these animals, like, I feel bad, because keeping them trapped in the house is also like the same as the zoo. That's crazy. Let's just be real honest. Y'all put in animals, you're taking them out of their habitat and putting them in this fake stuff. They do this. Like, so are we zoo animals too? Because you took us out of our habitat and put us in this like system. That is not okay. And then I think, okay, so we're all these different species here, and if we were to meet another species, or they met us, you know, think about this: the aliens come up out the skies, or they come up out the water, or they just come from outer space. I don't know how to explain that to you. There is a map. There's a map, okay? So they come from outer space. They're gonna see us and be like, say it was the giants, they're gonna be like, oh, since we are less intelligent and smaller, they took us in as house pets. Like, could you imagine them picking us like we are their pets? We would not want that. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. So that's why they don't interact with us right now, because they are free sovereign beings, which we'll learn to be that way too. And then that's when we get I don't even know what to call that, like the family reunion. That's when we get to meet like them, when we really come past all this discrimination and all that stuff. Like, when you realize none of that stuff even matters, because like none of that stuff even matters. Then we'll be able to meet them, because you're not about to enslave us, and we're not about to enslave you. So when we realize that like we're all connected, that's when they'll come out, and we'll have to like learn. It's so crazy to me. Y'all don't notice how great we really are already. I told somebody this earlier today. I feel like I'm from the future, and I'm sitting here communicating with people from the past, and we have a hard time connecting with each other because of that. The stuff that I see, and I want to be around other people that I can like talk to about my ideas, because whenever I talk to some people, they're like, what? Like, the stuff that I talk about is too much. They don't even have the slightest, like, they don't even know about quantum physics and stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, those are the chemistry and stuff like that, you know, really talking about the stars and astrology and how it has affected us in the past, and how people have literally used it to do things. Like, whether you believe in it or not, it's done what it's done, okay? You know, being able to talk about the aliens or just the other beings of our world, you know, because it's, y'all thinking it's this big, and it's like, boop, 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 boop. It's huge. This is like a dot. This is just a little bit. This is just a little bit. This is like school. This is where we learn our magic and stuff. This is where we become our final. This is it. Like, this is where we graduate. I don't know how else to say it, but like, we get to travel outer space after this. So yeah, think about like going to your family's house, but it's a little bit further. Outer space is not like, it's like, and I know, because I feel like I've seen it, I've been there, you know, done that already. And this is, I really feel like we've already reached this, I don't know, like this mark where this is what we're like getting to. but all this stuff has already happened. We're just watching how it happened. It's like, it just seems so slow. Like, my mind be way in the future, but like not in a bad way, but in a way of, as we are moving as a collective consciousness into the new earth, things are gonna change. And people, some of us are just the first people talking about what's gonna happen in 100 years. Like Nostradamus, we got the same birthday, so no coincidence. Yes, me and Nostradamus, you know, we go way back. Anywho, yeah, that's how I feel. But we actually get to watch it this time. Like, that's the thing. Since we like cracked certain codes in our DNA, y'all don't understand. We get to evolve. We unlock this part of our DNA where it's like eternal. That's all I can think of, is like forever and ever. Like, we unlock this key to just continue to grow. Like, we unlock this knowledge that you do this one thing and you've now accessed infinite knowledge. And now that you have infinite knowledge, and it's not just what they taught us, like what the school and the government and everybody has taught you, like, then you get to start creating. You know, you start to be able to create. And that's like the best gift that there ever was. Is that's why they're like, oh, if you take the bite out of the tree of knowledge. Nah, they mad if you do that, because now you surpass them. They'll forever be stuck in some type of whatever. I don't know what they going through. I don't care. But there's some people that's going to be stuck at this frequency, and we're surpassing them. Our DNA done bloop right up over theirs, and it's like completely demolishing anything in the path. Our DNA is like it's just like spreading. It's just, it kind of reminds me of like the opposite of the V, you know? It's like some people is getting that, but then other people is getting a DNA upgrade. That's what they're afraid of. Oh, once this happens, we can no longer control unless we put this stuff into them to try to suppress. And you know, our DNA is still just eating that stuff up. No, not this time. And that's why they're freaking out even more. Like, this is the honest to God truth. This is what they really don't want to tell you, is that's why there's 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll just say booster seat this, booster seat that, bing, bing, bing. There's so many, because nothing is working. They're like, oh, this is really happening, y'all. They're like, code red, like, it's happening. So they're pulling out like the big stuff now. They are, you know, they're getting ready for us to basically at any moment. And I've had this thought that like happened, but it's okay, like at any point in time anybody could like literally, you know, just snap, but we choose not to. So we channel that other half of us. It's the yin and the yang. Like, there's always gonna be the, just for experience purposes, that's life, okay? So we'll always have that, but we can channel it in good ways, you know, like there's always a good way to channel something and a bad way, and we just choose to do it the good way. But this is what I hear, because I guess a lot of people just be poking the bear, is what I hear. And they think that because we're spiritual, we won't defend ourselves. Sometimes in this game, the chosen ones will be that person in your life that puts you in your place. And I do not mean to like I'm just being as honest as possible. Just because somebody is chosen, or a woman or a man of God, doesn't mean that at some point they will not put you in your place. Whether that's verbally, physically, however needed, necessary in that moment. Like, stuff happens. We've all been that person, and then you call it good and you keep it moving. But that doesn't mean that experience may not happen for somebody, is all I'm saying. Because that, I guess, has been like an energy that I have felt of people like wanting to try somebody. I know that the easiest way for me to not have to deal with stuff like that, because it has happened where people have tried, if you just sit there and look at them and you don't even respond to the situation, literally, you don't respond, things will happen in front of you, but like you'll just see it. Nothing can actually affect you. I feel like these types of situations is happening. I don't know. The energy has been outrageous lately. So I'm dealing with it. So I know like other people is dealing with it as well. I be out here thinking I'm the only one. Like, nah, nope. It's affecting everybody. Shadow work is real. But I feel like I was about to say something, but I forgot.